Saturday Q&A. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Let me turn on all the chats so I can read everyone's beautiful, amazing, insightful, inspiring comments. Got some good news. Brought back the jug, baby. It's getting nice and sunny out. It is time for the jug. Hope everyone's having an amazing Saturday, or whenever you're watching this. We're going to wait for a few more people to show up, and then we're going to give a nice how do you do to all the people watching this during the playback, because not everyone can hang out, during the live streaming. By the way, glistening a little bit, because I just got out of the shower. Had to stay clean, if you know what I mean. We got Dan McCaslin with that drip, that certified T3 bot. We got Daniel Thibodeau with that certified T3 bot. We got Kentucky Man 30 certified T3 bot. Y'all better be on your best behavior, because that fellow there, certified T3 bot and moderator, is here. So he's ready to cut you out. He's ready to cut you out. Cut it out. Cut it out. Joel Taborski, certified T3 bot from Kansas. Let's see. Okay, let's get into some questions. Slicey Dicey, certified T3 bot is here. Tacos here. Okay, we got a bunch of regulars. We're ready to jump right into it. We have a question. Phil Nope says, hi, any advice on buying my first Rolex? Yes, I do. In fact, I made an episode about it. If one of my moderators wants to link you to the episode, Everything I Wish I Knew Before Buying a Rolex. Everything I Wish I Knew Before Buying a Rolex. Watch that episode, and you'll pretty much get my entire perspective, well, on everything I wish I knew before buying one. And now I currently have 5. So, hopefully it helps you out. Favorite non-car or watch-related book? This is Taco. That's a great question. If it non-car or watch-related, probably Redwall from Brian Jacques. And I actually have it here on... I have some bookshelves behind the camera that you can't see. So I think Redwall from Brian Jacques is my favorite novel, I would say. If any of you guys have not partaken of the Redwall universe of books, I highly, highly, highly recommend. Kind of nerdy. It's like medieval, but with animals. Anthony Villanueva, certified T3 bot. Chi-Town, California, certified T3 bot. Patrick, Martin the Warrior. He was one of the legendary heroes of the Redwall universe. Right here I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 Redwall books on this bookshelf alone. I was obsessed with it for a very long time. Next 3 watches I plan to buy. Personal next 3 watches I'd love to buy. Rolex 1016. That's like fairly doable. A Sinn 3006 hunting chronograph, that's on my list. And then probably an Omega. Dude, the Omega World Time. The Omega, is it an Aquaterra? That current World Time they have. It's purdy. Phil, anyone know how long the Rolex waitlist are normally? I think the Milgauss might be my first. It depends greatly on the watch. And unfortunately, you might be looking at 5 to 10 years, and I'm not kidding. Colton, if you keep spamming the Chat, we're going to ban you. So don't spam the chat. Everybody needs their chance to ask a question. Yes, the pigs in the blankets, the Aquaterra World Time. That's probably the third one on my list, potentially. Would I get the GWG Mudmaster if it had quad sensor? I have the Mudmaster with the triple sensor, and the quad sensor Mudmaster is bad because they took away the solar capability and they gave it a step counter. Why would you replace solar capability with a step counter? I don't get it. So that's a very bad move on Casio G-Shock's part. Let's see some more questions. The Big Wrist says shalom. Shalom. Adele says, I love your perspective on every freaking thing you say. I really appreciate your opinion, and I love my Duo Face Reverso. Well, thank you for the kind words of support, and good choice and good taste with the Reverso. Lucas, hello, any new G-Shock videos? I think I made one comparing... The most recent G-Shock adjacent video is my review of my Timex Ironman, comparing it to G-Shock, seeing if it's actually a viable alternative to a G-Shock. If one of my moderators wants to link that, you can check it out. All right, we have 100 people here, which means it's time for a wristwatch check. But first, let's go ahead in the comment section. Please say hello. Everyone, please say hello to all the people that are watching this during the recorded playback. We understand you can't all be here. We understand that not all of you have alarms set up on your various time-telling devices to let you know that 11:30 a.m. Pacific on Saturday is the place to be, baby. But it's okay. We'll forgive you. We love you, everyone. We're all saying hello. Read the comments. We love you. All you guys. Oh, I can see you. Hey, you shouldn't be watching that. Get back to work. Just kidding. You can watch this at work if you want, as long as you don't get caught. All right, back to the live questions. Anthony Villanueva says, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" Patrick Petito says, "It's a time capsule." Adele says, "Hello from Kuwait. What's going on?" Nordic Watch says, "Hello from Norway. What's going on?" It's time for a wristwatch check. I want you to guess. This is all I'm showing you. What is it? Anthony, I need to be authentic. Castellano. Yo, what is this? That's all I'm going to show you. Oh, Taco got it. Frederick got it. That fellow there got it. It's a tuna. After I took that Loom video, I've been wanting to wear this nonstop because I realized the Tuna is literally the best tool watch ever made, period, point blank. That's it. That's it. Yo, in the comment section, can you guys type jugs in the comment section? Let's get it going. Hashtag jugs. Everyone loves some jugs. Big old jugs. In the comment section, let's go. Alexander Warm says jugs. Phil says hashtag jugs. JS says jugs. Greg says, "What's up, Jory from Scotland? What's going on, brother?" Jason Grief says, "Big jugs." Hell yeah. Let's get some questions going. It's a good Saturday. I can already feel it. Jugs in both hands, baby. Anthony says thermos. Jugs! Saturdays are for the jugs. Adele. For my next watch, do I go for a blue coaxial Omega or do you have other choices? It's up to you, dude. I can't choose what your next watch is going to be. That it's not for me to choose, unfortunately. Taco says, "What's heavier, that jug filled with water or one of Jory's biceps?" Oh, God. Hashtag still jacked in the comment section. Can I get a hashtag still jacked? Those forearms are popping today, guys. Oh. Bleach with the super chat. Any chronograph you suggest that separates themselves enough in design from the Daytona to feel unique and stand on their own. Was looking at some interesting JLC references, kind of cool. So there's a ton of chronographs that don't look like the Daytona. Okay, the Daytona is a triple register. All right, what does register mean? And I'm not trying to speak to anyone like a layman or like an idiot. The registers are the subdials of the chronograph, right? So pretty much anything that's not a triple register chronograph already sets it apart from a Daytona, right? So, I mean, there's the Speedmaster, but people will say, yeah, but the Speedmaster, the Daytona, those are two those are two of the most prolific chronographs. I would argue the Navitimer doesn't look anything like a Daytona, period. But let's move even further away from that. You mentioned JLC. If we're going to be talking about chronographs that don't have really any lineage near a Daytona, you got to look at a triple calendar. JLC, it's interesting you brought them up because their current triple calendar is so far away from a Daytona, it's not even funny. So one of the current triple date moon phase, that's what I would go for. It's vintage enough to be elegant. It's not sporty Daytona, and it's modern enough that you wouldn't have to really baby it. Although it's not nearly as versatile as a Daytona, right? I mean, a Daytona has the oyster case with the threaded crown, threaded pushers. You can literally go in the ocean with that and not have to worry about it. So it depends what you want it for. Another option would be something like a Heuer Monaco or a Tag Heuer Monaco. That's literally a square case, rectangular case. That actually also has, I believe, the modern ones have a 100 meter water resistance rating. So those are very different chronographs. Friendly Junko says you're leaning out. Hell yeah, dude, summer's coming. Grr, gotta get freaking juicy! If you couldn't tell, I'm super amped because my gym just opened this week for the first time in a year. And I went every day this week. I feel like a truck hit me, but the testosterone is like coursing through my veins. I'm too turned up, guys. I'm sorry. I'm too turned up. It is what it is. Do you ever try to shave with a freehand razor? Does it look like I shave, dude? What is shaving? I don't even know how to spell that. Anthony says, hey, finally getting big now. Yeah, dude, I'm tiny, dude. Jack S says, hashtag more jacked. Seiko says, you don't have any room at home, set up a home gym. Yeah, I do have stuff at home, but it's a very different environment than a weight room, you know, where you have literally everything. So it's not that I haven't worked out in a year. I would argue that I've actually become pretty lean in comparison to what I was in the past 12 months. I dropped a ton of weight. I can run 3 miles a day now with no breaks, like 3 miles under 30 minutes, which is great for a guy over 200 pounds. I can do like a bajillion push-ups, body squats. I do this all with like a plate carrier on. I'm an animal. But now, I get to go back into an actual weight room. And yeah, Oscar, I have 2 kettlebells. Two sets of kettlebells. So, yeah. Advice on becoming a watch salesman. Be honest, be incredibly knowledgeable, be incredibly transparent, and have good products. Joel Taborski, certified T3 bot, says, shave that beard and you'll go back down to 140. I know, right? It's like a bunch of like antimatter on my face. Phil says, well, I could never hit 30 minutes for 3 miles, even in the Army. Yeah, well, this was a weird time, Phil. There was not much to do, so all I did was run. John, certified T3 bot, says, when does the Jory Goodman action figure come out? That would be pretty funny. Who would like that as a special edition members thing if we could get someone to develop a T3 action figure. That might be very funny. Maybe for the channel's anniversary. That would be hilarious. Whew! It should be made out of steel. Kentucky Man says that would be awesome. Yeah, we might have to do that. That would be hilarious. Yeah, people are saying bobblehead. I like the idea of having a bobblehead. That might be something I'd have at the time teller shop. But I'm talking about like an old school retro action figure in the bubble case, like the bubble packaging. That would be great. A Jory voodoo doll. You'd need, each one will come with one strand of my beard hair. Jory Goodman Chia Pet. It's just the beard. Dean's here, giving us rant authority. A bubblehead with a jug. Daniel Hill says, Jory, is the Apple Watch getting people into watches? It's been 5 years since its invention. Ben Clymer is the man. I don't know why you had to throw that last thing in there. I'm like the anti-Ben Clymer. It's like if Ben Clymer is like on one side, I'm like his like, it's like I'm Bizarro World Ben Clymer is what I'm trying to say. But he is awesome. Is the Apple Watch getting people into watches? I don't really know. I honestly, I don't really know. But, I mean, everyone that I know that likes watches that is also interested in a smartwatch just wears both. So I don't really see people going from a smartwatch to a regular watch, because regular watches aren't techie typically. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really know how to answer that. If you're asking my opinion, which you obviously are, I would say I don't really think they are getting people into watches. Joel says, kick him off the channel for even mentioning the name. Karaka says, doesn't matter how okay you are, Jory is Goodman. I'm good, man. Song Tay, what's your take on... Oh, okay. I was about to read the comment. I think he was asking me about a JLC chronograph. I think he was spamming the comment section, though, so my moderators handled it. Anthony Villanueva says he believes that the Apple Watch is getting people into watches. He says, my generation did not grow up wearing watches, and most of us had digital clocks. The Apple Watch has made it normal for us to have something on our wrist again. That's something to consider, I suppose. Artava Kumtakar, if you keep spamming the comment section about SKME, you will be banned. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Oops! Yeah, the whole smartwatch phenomenon, I don't think it's a fad, because I think it's helpful. I'm not going to deny the fact that I am tethered to technology. Okay, I live on my phone. When you run a business and it's based online, when you literally have a store that is also based online, when you're interacting with various people, my channel members, my comment section, you're going to be tethered to your phone even more than just, another person checking their emails. So I'm not going to say I'm holier than thou. I don't even have a television. No, I'm very much tethered to technology. However, I also see people liking that on their wrist. So who's to say that, because I have a phone, you essentially doing the same things on an Apple Watch is so much worse? No, that's perfectly fine. The reason that I don't like Apple Watches is because I'd rather just wear a regular watch. Does that make sense? I know that was kind of a mini rant, but you do have two wrists. For instance, I'm wearing an actual, like a watch on this wrist, and then on this wrist, I'm wearing a Whoop strap, which is actually not a smartwatch. Doesn't have a screen, doesn't even tell the time, but it's really cool, and I think I'm gonna do a review on it for you guys. But good question, good question, and you know what? We might have to make an episode kind of discussing that. That's interesting. Ooh, Koenigsegg says, good evening from New Hampshire. My old stomping grounds. Thoughts on the Vacheron Constantine 18-karat gold dress watch caliber K1014 mechanical 33mm lug to lug is about 37.38mm. Love to hear your opinion. Do you have a reference number? Telling me the measurements doesn't tell me much unless you have a reference number. But it sounds cool. Everything you said sounds really cool, and you know I'm a Vacheron freak, so that sounds really cool. And what's up? You know I got love for the 603. Would you mind a pocket dump? I think you're talking about what's in my pocket right now. Nothing, because I've actually been just chilling in the office. Literally came from the gym, showered up, came here, and there's nothing in my pockets right now. I got a jug in my hand. But if you want to see more EDC type stuff, you got to go to the members section because we talk about that all day long. Chi-Town Certified T3 Bot says, Jory has some Kosk certified lint in his pocket. It must be Kosk certified. Daniel Hill, your beard looks more pointed today. Well, what you guys might not know, I actually took 2 inches off my beard like a week ago. Actually cut 2 inches off my beard. I didn't need it that long anymore. You know what I mean? That's what she said. Targa, certified T3 bot. Actually, he's not certified T3 bot. My bad. I was getting confused because that fellow there's comment popped up right after his. Targa says, yo, Jory, loving the channel as always. Thank you very much. Keep up the awesome work. Thank you. The best on the tube. You heard it here, guys. I'm the best on the tube, baby. The PAM 111. Do it or not? Well, I own one. I own a PAM 00111. Depends which one. So, I would say yes, do it. But be careful. I've made multiple episodes why I probably won't buy another Panerai. I love my PAM 00111. Probably my favorite Panerai. That is the Paneristes Panerai, in my opinion. But be careful. JB with the super chat says, George picked up a sub no date. Now I can trade in a Panda Speedmaster and a Panerai base white dial for Explorer 2 Polar. Thoughts? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it. One of my favorite Rolexes, I hope you're talking about the 40mm 16570. That's my favorite Explorer 2. Okay? However, you just got a sub no date. You're going to trade in a Panda Speedmaster, which is a chronograph, and a Panerai base white dial, which is another dive watch, but it's a different kind of dive watch. So really, you're going from an oyster case 40mm Rolex to adding another oyster case 40mm Rolex, and you're going to get rid of a chronograph and another really unique dive watch. I think that collection right now, I would get rid of, out of the 3 watches you listed, I would get rid of the Panerai and probably get and probably get the Explorer that way. Maybe save up, sell a Panerai. I wouldn't get rid of your Omega. Keep the chronograph in your collection, man. You have a really nice dive watch with the sub no date. You have a really nice chronograph with the Speedmaster. Maybe sell the Panerai, and then, because you don't really need 2 white dial sports watches, you don't need the Panerai and the Explorer 2. This is just if I were to do it in my collection, by the way. You don't need to listen to me at all, but you're asking me my opinion, so that's kind of what I would think. You don't need 2 white dial sports watches, sell the Panerai, get the Explorer 2, keep the Panda, and the sub no date is like your everyday diver. Bunch of super chats. Thank you so much for the super chats. He says, "Hey mate, Arnold." He says, "Hey mate, what watch should do you recommend for me? I'm in law school and I need something classy but flashy." Well, what's your budget? I mean, that's classy but flashy. Okay, solid gold Reverso. Boom. Get a Reverso, solid gold, classy and flashy. Songtae, I'm not a bot. JLC Master Control Chronograph Calendar. Doesn't seem many people cover in reviews. Yay or nay? Yay. Yay, 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 yay. Yay, yay, yay. I got to wear one at a boutique. Really, really cool. Un momento. Reading comments. Un momento. Shuttown, California has his input. Certified T3 bot. He says, classy but flashy, Orient Bambino, yellow gold tone. Interesting. Jordan, certified T3 bot, is here. Everybody, round of applause for Jordan. He says, look at all these nerds. Well, Jordan, I will have you know, I unboxed a little something, but I'm not going to show the people here because it's only for my channel members to see this review. But I love it, and I don't know if you got this for me as a joke, but I'm legitimately going to wear it because I love it. So I filmed a review unboxing of this. Everybody, round of applause for Jordan for giving me a very thoughtful present. And stay tuned for next week when we talk about actually a very, very cool watch that Jordan gifted me. So round of applause for Jordan. Thank you so much. And if you want to see that content, join the Discord chat because I'm going to post it there. But really, it's a really cool watch. It's a very, very cool watch. And it's just so me. Jordan says, more like F you to haters and hell yeah. TFT, Certified Teeth Rot and Moderator, says, hit the join button. Longhammer AL says, besides Whoop, which is this thing, have you used any other fitness trackers? G-Shock Move. I've used G-Shock Move and this. And I'm choosing this. Predominantly because this tracks more things, but also it's useful to wear this 24/7, and I'm not going to wear a G-Shock plus another watch. I'm not going to wear a G-Shock and a watch. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard to get the most out of your fitness tracker when you're not wearing it all the time, and I have so many watches that I like wearing that I don't always want to wear my G-Shock. Pete's Natural Powerlifting says, Jory, I'm a powerlifter and a watch geek. What are you benching these days? More than you, baby! I'm just kidding. I'm not going to tell you right now because I haven't been in a weight room in a year. Okay? So this week was my first week back because the gym just opened. So I'm not going to tell you right now. Give me like 6 months and then I'll tell you what I'm benching these days. Because even I don't know what I'm benching these days, bro. And I don't want to pop a pack. So just give me some time to get into it. Jeez, so much pressure. Pete's Natural Body Powerlifting is laughing at me. Phil Note with the super chat says, any steel spring-loaded bracelets like on Pelagos? not really spring-loaded, but I think the best diver's extension bracelet is the Tuna. Dude, I know I am so biased, guys, towards the Tuna. I think the Tuna can do no wrong. Okay, it can do no wrong. I know I'm biased. I know, I recognize that. Everything about it is pretty much perfect. I don't even like wearing it on the bracelet because I think it's just really nice on this vintage NATO strap. But I think my favorite ratcheting diver's extension is the Tuna out of the box. Bryson, my moderator with the super chat, says, I have a small wrist. Is getting a Speedy Reduced the right pick over getting the professional? If you're even considering it, then I might go reduced. If you're concerned, then you'll probably be more happy with the way the reduced looks on your wrist. However, office is getting a delivery. Wow, okay. Moderators, tell some jokes. I gotta go sign for this because I think it's probably a watch that I need to review. Whoop, 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 whoop. We got another watch to review. Okay. Everyone's yelling outside. There once was a man from Nantucket. Insert elevator music here. Invite the mailman in. We want to say hi. Live unboxing? No, because I want to do all the good shots and I want to, make it look all nice and everything. It was Velcro Valet. No, don't worry. It's no. By the way, someone is here that wants to say hi. Everyone say hi to Turtle Goodman. She's purring so loudly. Look at how cute she is. She's so tiny. Turtle. It would not be a Saturday Q&A without one of the kitties showing up. Marianne says her other name is Seiko. No, Seiko is another cat. This is Turtle. There's 3 cats. There's Linky, Turtle, and Seiko. She's literally asleep. Bryson says, haha, cats are so funny. Turtle's like, yeah, this is my house now. I own all of this. So, what some of you guys might not know is we found her in a dumpster about a month ago. Someone bailed on this kitty. Can you believe that someone would bail on this beautiful, perfect angel? Look at this. Look at how perfect she is. She is so precious and cute and perfect. I'm a dog person too, but it's just easier to own cats when you're moving around and doing stuff. And cats are very independent, but they're very dependent on me, so look at this little baby. We got her all fixed up, Took her to the vet. She's all clean. Everything is, you know, good to go. So, she's a baby. Okay. Okay, go bother your siblings. Jameson, yes, she's a calico. She is, in fact, a calico. Jory, cats are cool. Yes, I agree. Cats are cool. We have another super chat. Tennessee Integra says, thoughts on the Argon Gauge 3G 7750 Swiss Chrono Automatic Limited Edition. I won one for $200 off Watch Gang. Please, P.S. I don't use them anymore. I don't know anything about that watch, my man. I don't know anything about that watch. I wish I did. Chances are, though, unfortunately, Tennessee, if it was in Watch Gang, it's probably not amazing. Watch Gang, I have a feeling, pulls from the very bottom of the barrel. What I will say is they have, I believe, blocked me on most social media. I know that they have blocked me on Instagram for sure. So they clearly don't want me to see what they're doing, which is kind of, it's kind of sketchy, right? So I'm not sure. All I'm saying is that when, like a year or two ago, I could access their stuff from one of my accounts, but when I go to the Simple Consultant account, it didn't show up. How interesting. You'd think that one of the moderate-sized watch channels on YouTube, you'd think you'd want, if you're a watch company, right, you're in the watch world, you'd think you'd want them to get their name out there and have me be able to see their stuff, but they didn't. It's very interesting. Interesting. Chi-Town, California, certified T3 belt. Jory, how would you get your Daytona? Okay. Good question. There's two Daytonas that I really do like. Okay, and I'm not talking about vintage. We're gonna exclude vintage because vintage Daytonas would be my favorite, right? If I could get any Daytona, it would be a vintage one, hands down. If I could get a current Daytona is what you're asking me, or a fairly, we'll say modern era Daytona, how would I get it? Well, there's two that I really like. The first one, I'll just knock it out right now, is the ceramic, right? The ceramic white dial stainless steel, probably one of the easiest, most wearable Daytonas out there. MSRP is $13,150. Okay, you're never gonna find one for $13,150. Now they go around 30 grand on the gray market. This is because of people manipulating the market and Rolex authorized dealers being pretty much the worst people on earth. That's just how it is. The second type of Daytona I really like, or I should say the second type of modern Daytona that I really like is actually a Zenith Daytona using a Zenith El Primera movement. And it is a two-tone stainless steel yellow gold. I like the yellow gold bezel, and I either like the gold dial or the black dial. It's the same reference number, I just like those two variants. So those are two things that I really do like. Colton says, rant! Best watch for a 16-year-old? Probably a G-Shock DW5600. That's what I was wearing when I was like 16. Jory, you should wrap your watches around your car steering wheel for a picture. No, I think that looks really stupid, and I don't. I never like those photos when I see them on Instagram because it takes so long. The amount of time to do that just for some stupid show-offy shot, it's like, so it's dumb. And also, no one would really care. People are very mean on the internet. So the funniest part about it would be, I would probably, I mean, which car would I choose, right? And so let's say that I chose my Subaru. I have people that whenever I post a picture of my Subaru, they'll write to me and they'll be like, haha, this guy owns Rolexes, but he drives a Subaru. It's like, okay, I don't know, like, okay. Is that a diss? I love my Subaru. My STI rips, dude. That thing is sick. It's a rally car legend. And so then, this happened to me yesterday, actually. Someone wrote to me, like they went out of their way to write to me about my Porsche. So let's say I did that with my Porsche steering wheel. Someone wrote to me yesterday, like they sought me out. And they're like, I just saw your account and you drive a Porsche that's not worth anything. It's like, dude, it's worth a whole lot to me because I love it. So I don't care, like, the monetary value. I enjoy it. I didn't explain that to this guy. I just laughed. I was like, haha, okay. Because if you, like, I'm at the point in life where if you want to be an idiot, I'll just agree with you. Because I'm not agreeing with what you're saying. I'm just agreeing with the fact that you are an idiot. So he's like, huh, you drive a Porsche that's not even worth anything. I'm like, yeah. Now, I'm not saying yes to my Porsche's not worth anything. I'm just saying, yeah, you're an idiot. Okay. Like what? I'm not going to teach you anything. You're dumb. Whatever. So long story short, I'm not going to take those photos. Next question. In Amberclad says, LOL, that's hilarious. Imagine being proud of owning a car whose value just drops like a rock once you drive it off of the dealer lot. Yeah, I mean, everything depreciates, right? Like, you just have to, every purchase you make, you have to assume it's going to depreciate. That's why you just need to make, like, good decisions. Make the best decisions possible. Pete's Natural Powerlifting says, keyboard warriors everywhere. Yep. Yep. Shane says, wait, there are idiots on the internet? Oh my god. Anthony Villanueva, Certified Teeth Robot, says, and then you have a Ferrari and a Rolex, and all the comments will be like, ew, look, he's compensating for something. Yeah, it's you know, whatever. People are dumb. Bryson says, all boulders on the Jeep. Emma says, why do YouTubers say watches aren't an investment, but then make videos on investment watches? I don't make any video. I don't know to who you are referring. Or to whom you are referring, excuse me, my English. But I am pretty, like on this channel, I'm pretty like congruent with my argument that watches are just absolutely not they're absolutely not an investment. Now there are some watches that could be an investment, but what's typically the rule with investing? You got to put a lot of money in, and you got to be okay with waiting. So if you're looking for a watch like under $1,000, I'm gonna say if you're looking for a watch under 10 grand to invest in and have it like become a like positive return, that's not gonna happen. You got to put a whole lot of money in on some very sought after, very rare pieces, and you have to be okay with waiting. If you're gonna invest in these commodities, like that's just it. But on this channel, on the Time Teller channel's stance on watches and as investments is that watches are not investments, period. Anthony says he's waiting for the next channel member to get a boulder. Frank says the 996 is a great car that Porsche files dislike because of the headlights. Frank, I actually disagree with you. Every Porsche enthusiast I know really likes the 996. It's only the casuals that are stuck in like an echo chamber, like they're just playing the game of telephone with like one another. Like they're cognizant of the 996, but they don't really know anything about like Porsche lineage. So they just do what everyone else says. It's kind of like people when they all to put this in watch terms, it's kind of like how the stupid game of telephone has gotten a lot of people to just casually agree that the 7S26 is a bad movement. Like, that's not true at all. The 7S26 is very tough, it's incredibly reliable, and it's super accurate. But the stupid game of telephone manipulates sheep right? People that don't want to think for themselves, and it's easier just to agree with whatever another person's saying than to do your own research and formulate your own opinion. So yeah, it happens in the watch world all the time. People just agreeing that the 7S26 is a bad movement, which isn't the case. People just agreeing that like the Vostok Amphibia was designed to be bad. So like all these like bad things that happen on the Vostok Amphibias, all the bad quality control, all the rattly bits, all the oh, Turtle wants to say hi again. All like the crumminess that is the Vostok Amphibia, people have just made excuses, and then other people have just decided to agree. So that happened with the Porsche 996. People, the casuals say it's not a 911 because of the headlights. But the weird thing is no one freaking complained about those headlights when they were on the 911 GT1. When those headlights were on the freaking track on the 911 GT1, everyone was saying, oh my god, that's the best thing ever. But now that it's on a 911 Carrera, people are like, that's not, no, screw it. Keep your argument the same. You weren't, keep that same energy about the GT1, boy. That's right. It's pigs in the blankets, says Rant. Daniel Katz says, I think I will just invest in myself. That's a great. That's all you got at the end of the day, baby. Yourself. Let's see. Rick Green mentions the IMS bearing. The IMS bearing is not at most. So, okay, there was a class action lawsuit in the early 2000s over the IMS bearing problems with Porsche. And at most, during that lawsuit's research, the highest amount of failures with the IMS bearing was for a 2-year for the single output shaft was an 8% failure rate, and that was only for the ones with the single rod output shaft. The dual rod output shafts had a failure rate of less than 1%. Less than 1%. Okay? So I'm not worried about it. However, I was kind of a little worried about it because I ended up getting my IMS bearing retrofitted anyway, just so that I don't even have to think about it. So instead of having to like make that argument to everyone, I just got it retrofitted and just knocked it out anyway, just so people are like, the IMS bearing, I can be like, okay, mine's done. I don't need to worry about it. But whatever. The moon is flat. It's the pigs and the blankets, certified Teetherbot said. Adam H, certified Teetherbot and moderator, reminds everyone to please avoid commenting in all caps because it scares the moderators, especially that fellow there. He doesn't like all caps. Ofek says, are you going to do a podcast? I get that question all the time, and I don't know what I would actually talk about. What would I talk about? Would it be another watch podcast? Leave me a comment. Would you want a podcast? And then what would you want me to talk about? Dan, Y, Z. Yeah, it's just, you got all these things that I'm considering. This big says, yours 996 is looking good though. Thank you so much. Amber Clad says, yeah, you can make a podcast and call it Time and Teller. Or I can compete with the H3H3 podcast and I can call it T3T3. Ethan's Jewish, so am I. So I could be like the more successful, more handsome version of Ethan. Bryson, moderator and certified Teetherbot, says the podcast should be with your members or people you're interviewing. You'd need a guest co-host. I would be happy to be either. Let's talk, Bryson. That'd be very interesting. Chestnut, California, certified Teetherbot says, Jory, any plans on uploading a video of the 996 to this channel? Maybe. Maybe. I would absolutely consider it. I would absolutely consider it. If you guys would be interested in seeing that type of stuff. Emma says, I mean, you're already a better person overall. Thank you. I appreciate it. Amp says, I think you need a bigger water jug. I know. So it's not just big because I'm putting it close to the camera. It's like, it's about as big as my head, and I have a huge head. Peek Since the Blanket says, you should do a Fed-style post with you driving and talking watches. The difference is that Fed gets to drive around Miami. Driving in Los Angeles is very different. So I don't think that video could be monetized because people would be like saying bad things like on the street and stuff. Driving in Los Angeles is not great. Emma, if Rolex is so good, then why isn't there a Rolex 2? I know, right? Despacito Part 2. I think my favorite song right now is Despacito Part 3. G-Man Greg, certified T-Robot, says, if you tripped and fell that water jug, in that water jug, you could drown. True. Driving in Boston equals rated R for bad language. Podcast, Powerlifting and Pateks, starring Jory. What a great way to break a Patek Philippe, is just drop a plate on it. Yep, I'll consider doing a podcast, guys. I would consider it, absolutely. For you guys, anything. Anything. Taro Tikana says, I want to get a Patek Philippe. All I need is the money. Yeah, that seems to be the problem, isn't it? Man, if it wasn't just for the money, I would have a Patek. You guys crack me up. Emma, also serious question, Bremen, Stephen Hawking or Rolex? Oh, okay. Bremen, Stephen Hawking or Rolex Milgauss for when I finish my PhD and why? I assume you are in the sciences. I don't know, like what are you getting your PhD in? I would go for either of those. I would go the Milgauss. It's just more watch. Just Milgauss, period. Milgauss. Jameson. If it's in infectious diseases, then I would definitely get the Milgauss. Milgauss has better water resistance. So you're probably going to be washing your hands a lot. Jameson says, saw your video on lume comparisons and I commented there. How long does the lume last on your watches once the light goes out? It seems after 30 minutes, lume wears out. Yeah, it depends, but I mean, if you're getting absolutely zero light, then yeah, your lume will probably dim after 30 minutes, but typically you're not in zero light. So you should typically just be fine. Batmat Certified Teacher Bot says, I made some rad lamb chops today. I love lamb. I love lamb. No, I love lamb. Ofex says, Creeder or Patek? Guess it depends on which watch, but Creeder is, I mean, the Creeder HE2 I would get over most Patek Philippe watches. Maru Voots says, hey there, nice stream. Can you confirm or denied that the Daytona has the worst history for a watch, like Cosmograph, but never been to space, and Paul Newman doesn't even want it? True? Thanks. Well, Paul Newman did wear his Daytona, and that's why it pretty much blew up because of that. I don't think I don't know how you could gauge it having the worst history. I disagree. If you're asking me true or false, false. I think very much false. However, what I think is interesting. Oh, Joel, take care, brother. What I do think is interesting about the original Cosmographs is that they pretty much couldn't even give them away at the time. They kept having to Rolex kept having to mark down the prices of that chronograph because people just didn't understand it at the time. They knew, I mean, most people probably knew about chronographs, but it was a triple register. It was kind of sporty. It just wasn't very Rolex at the time. And so they did not sell well at all. Like, dealers had to like give them away. I wish I lived back then. But yeah, because now I'd be a very, very, very wealthy man with a full stock of new old stock Cosmographs. But times have changed. Thoughts on the Reverso Sun Moon White Gold from 99 to 2005, the one with the funky dolly-like numerals. Are you familiar with this piece? Yeah, I know the Reverso Sun Moon. I think it's cool. If you want a day-night indicator, it's a great choice. My watches have to have a link to the US. I own IWC, Hamilton, Ball, and Shinola. Well, I hate Shinola, so yeah, I'm not a big fan of Shinola at all. Shinola's only attachment to the US is like essentially the name. That's pretty much it. They got in trouble with the FTC because they weren't like American made enough to say that they were American made. So yeah. John, certified T3. How much time do you spend each week acquiring more watches from the shop? What I will say is I spend hours each day. So, calculate that how you will, but pretty much multiple hours each day. So I have my schedule allotted to channel work and shop work, and both of them take hours. Shinola got in trouble with the EU. Man, looks like they are on everybody's list, aren't they? Mehmet says, I didn't invent time, I'm just watching the time teller. Oh, thank you. Thoughts on the Sinn U50? Man, you are a Sinn dude. Last members chat, you were wearing a Sinn. Okay, let's take a look. The Sinn U50 is a dive watch with a 4 o'clock crown placement. It's much flatter in profile than a Seiko diver, I would say. I like almost everything about it except the handset. I'm not big on the handset, but I do like it. And I know for a fact Dean is a big fan of Sinn sports watches. So everything but the handset I'm actually a big fan of. And I think it comes in their tegimented steel, of course. Batmat says, wish you did a live stream. Workouts with Jory would be sick. That would be awesome. I would be down to do that. Robert M, is this a new issue with Shinola? I knew they had legal issues before. No, this is in Shinola's fairly recent past. It's not like current, but fairly recent past. Clement Loth, certified T3 Rot, says, do you ever get fed up with watches? No. Emma says, visits T3 shop, it's all sold out. Nope, there's 3 watches still there. So we're not totally sold out this week. There's still 3 watches available, but stay tuned for next week when we're going to do another weekly restock. Shane says, eating scrambled eggs on toast For me, Sunday breakfast. Eggs from our own garden hens. That sounds delicious. I had 4 eggs and 2 pieces of potato bread this morning. So we kind of had the same breakfast. Okay, so do I ever get fed up with watches? It'd be hard to get fed up with watches because let me be perfectly clear. If I didn't, okay, this is going to sound frightening to some of you guys, okay? But hear me out. If I didn't like watches anymore, or if this stopped being fun, you'd pretty much never hear from me again. The second this stops making, the second this stops being fun, I just will not do it anymore. So have faith that I am here because I am like incredibly passionate about this and I just really love watches. So do I ever get fed up? I'm not gonna say that like it's always butterflies and rainbows and ooh yeah, bubblegum trees. Like no, there's like frustrating things. Like life is frustrating with like the longer you do something, you're going to encounter the dark side of whatever it may be. But you have to look at the ratios, right? Do the pros still outweigh the cons? And right now, the pros immeasurably outweigh the cons. So, yeah, it is. I'm trying to think of an example where I've gotten like fed up with something. I suppose the most difficult part about this is, you know, the more you acquire watches for your shop, you see the dark side of like sellers and you see like people trying to be sleazy with deals, and then you obviously don't work with those people, but that gets kind of old because you're like, okay, I know what you're trying to do, like, because when I purchase my watches, I'm not purchasing them as the time teller, so the people don't know who is necessarily acquiring their watch. But yeah, you know, you see like sleazy people trying to sell things. You see fakes, like blatant fakes, scalpers, resellers. That gets very old. The whole Rolex waitlist thing is like, I'm so over it. Like, gosh, I'm just over it. And then that's kind of it, but I'm definitely not fed up with watches. That's just, you know, those are just the little nuisances. I get dive watch fatigue. Yeah, I sometimes get, you know, my collection goes, it's very cyclical. So, but like when I first started the Time Teller channel, I was very into dress watches. And then I kind of moved more into like sports watches and divers. And then I went into field watches. And then field watches took up like 2 years. Like I was like straight field watch for like 2 years. And then I went into more chronographs. And then I'm going to blow your mind real quick, guys. I'm like back into dress watches. I'm like looking at dress watches now. Like I want a dress watch. So there's no rhyme or reason, guys. That like there's no real logic to. You just buy what you like. Learn about what you like. It was the era. It was the era of Boulder. But yeah, I think the next watch I get is probably going to be, some type of dress watch. I honestly think going down the Cartier rabbit hole. Careful, man. Cartier's made so many watches and they're all so pretty. You're gonna, boy. If I had all the money in the world, a large portion of my watch collection would be Cartier. I think that they are top 5 watchmaker in the world. Anthony Villanueva, certified T3 bot, says, I cycle my watches depending on the season. Spring is coming up, so bright dials are going to be back in my rotation. That makes sense. It's the pigs in the blankets. Certified Teeter Bot says, send me rope. I'm in deep. G-Man, Certified Teeter Bot says, the beauty of the watch hobby is when you learn to buy them for yourself. If you like them for what they are, then you can enjoy your SKX as much as your Omega, as much as your Grand Seiko. Amen. Clement Law, Certified Teeter Bot, would you consider making your own watch brand? I get this question a lot. Probably not. Probably not for a long time. There's still a lot about the watch world I would still love to learn, and that I would still love to partake in and partake of. I'm still having a lot of fun fiddling with watches from watchmakers that I really like and look up to. So I don't really see myself as entering that yeah, I don't want to open up that can of worms just yet. I don't think I could do anything better than, you know, Vacheron could. So I'm personally not interested in that. What I'm much more passionate about is finding the gems from other watchmakers and selling them to other enthusiasts. T3 watches, luxury without the middlemen. Ah, yes. Yes, the middleman. Little do they know, I am the middleman. Bad Matt, Certified Teeter Bot. Have you ever changed your mind once you've held a watch or worn it versus when you've just seen one? Yeah, the Rolex Datejust Wimbledon. The Rolex Datejust Wimbledon is, it's a watch that I thought was very handsome. I really liked the green incorporated on the two-tone. I thought that it was, you know, stainless steel yellow gold with that green and that kind of silvery slate dial. I really wanted one. I went to a boutique. This was back, I think this was in 2017. This might have been right when I started my channel. And I was actually thinking of buying that watch because I loved it. I loved it. I always wanted one since it came out. And then when I put it on, I didn't like the way it looked on me. I'm not going to say it's a bad watch. I'm not even going to say it's an ugly watch. I'm just going to say that when I had it on my wrist, I just didn't like it as much. So it's weird. I think it was also a phenomenon of me lusting over that watch for so long that by the time I was kind of maybe at the point where I was going to get one, it lost some of its charm. You know what I mean? So that's, yeah. That's probably my answer for that. Chi-Town, California, Certified Teeter Bot says, I tried on the Grand Seiko Snowflake, changed my mind immediately when I saw how oversized it looked on my wrist. Yeah, I mean, you can like that watch still, but you can also just understand it's probably not the watch for you, if that makes sense. Arc73 says, hi from UK. Burger Slayer says, Grail, Vacheron Overseas, Rose Gold Blue Dial. Who wouldn't love that watch, dude? You're talking about the ultra thin, I think. Man. That might be on my top 5 Grail watches. I would love to own that watch. Someday. But guys, we've been here for about 70 minutes. We're gonna wrap this thing up. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. You know, you could have been here, or I should say, you could have been anywhere during this Saturday, but you chose to be here and hang out with me, and I don't take that for granted. I don't take that lightly. So I really appreciate you hanging out with me. I look forward to this every week. This is honestly kind of, it's borderline therapy for me, yelling into this camera, hanging out with you guys. But I really do appreciate it. So let's give a round of applause to my moderators. We can't have this live show without my moderators. They really do make sure everything goes nice and smooth, and they get all the hate and all the jerks out of here. So we really do appreciate the channel mods. They do a great job. And then we want to thank my channel members. Please consider joining the channel. It's a whole lot of fun. That Discord chat is probably the most valuable part of my channel because it really digs deeper. Everything I talk about here on the channel is kind of dug into deeper in the Discord chat with all the members. And it's a really diverse group of people, and they're a bunch of knuckleheads, and I love each and every one of them. So if you want to join, please consider it. But round of applause to my channel members. They make everything, they really do make everything possible. So thank you. And then bottom line, what is a channel without a viewer? So give yourself a round of applause. Everyone watching this, my regular viewers, my new viewers, we're getting a whole bunch of new viewers. So you guys deserve a round of applause. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You guys freaking rock. I love interacting with you guys every week, and I love seeing you in the comment sections of my videos. So I really do appreciate that. So guys, stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. Get out of your comfort zone. Seriously, I remind you every week, get the freak out of your comfort zone. And then, please, tell someone you love them. If you're not having a good day, if you're feeling down, sometimes just telling someone else you love them really can brighten up your day. So I love each and every one of you. I'll start it off. You. I love each and every one of you. And then, finally, the last thing I say every live stream. At the end of the day, you're only left with yourself, so don't lose sight of yourself. You got to tell yourself that you love yourself as well. So keep that in mind. That's what I will leave you with. Have a great weekend, guys. Have a great day whenever it is you're watching this. The Time Teller channel loves you. I love you. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it. Dab. Love you guys.